Summer, time to get in on thousands of dollars of government efficiency credits. Jeff and his team at USA Insulation find the grants, rebates, reductions, and they discount the cost of your project up front. Get started at usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at accunet.com.
If you can't handle the heat, don't worry. That's not a problem here.
Thomas once more turns the corner and hits another one with a foul. Cam Thomas is on some kind of heater now.
The Bucks take on the Miami Heat at Fiserv Forum. Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30
On the home of the Bucks, 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Just after 10 o'clock, it's 28 degrees. Cloudy skies. We could maybe see some snow develop late tonight, a high getting up around 38. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Neil Doyle. A $1 million reward being offered now by the family of Nancy Guthrie for any information that leads to her recovery. Today's show host Savannah Guthrie making that announcement in a new video posted to social media.
We know that millions of you have been praying. So many people have been praying of every faith and no faith at all, praying for her return, and we feel those prayers. Please keep praying without ceasing.
The 84-year-old Nancy has been missing since February 1st. Cleanup underway across the Northeast after a massive winter storm dumped record amounts of snowfall. The mayor of New Bedford, Massachusetts, John Mitchell, says they got around 37 inches.
It blew snow back into places that had been plowed. Streets were filled back up again. So from the plow driver's perspective, from the city's perspective, for that matter, it was as though we're plowing the same city over, say, 3 times.
Hundreds of thousands still without power across the Northeast, and thousands of more flights canceled once again today. Nearly a dozen companies in Wisconsin, including Kohl's and Milwaukee Tool, suing the Trump administration for tariff refunds. Most of the companies filed those lawsuits just ahead of the Supreme Court's decision last week that struck down many of President Trump's tariffs. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reporting that company leaders are citing financial burdens and business uncertainty caused by the tariffs. The lawsuits do not specify the amount of refunds the companies are seeking. Speaking of tariffs, manufacturing leaders continuing to deal with the ongoing tariff landscape. National Association of Manufacturers President and CEO Jay Timmons says it's a top concern for both large and small businesses, but he tells Wisconsin's Morning News the sector still remains strong across the Badger State.
You've got 462,000 manufacturing jobs in this state. You've got $73 billion of value added to the economy. That's like 16% of Wisconsin's GDP. So that is a huge, that's a strong economic message.
Timmons is visiting Wisconsin as part of the annual NAM State of Manufacturing Tour. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything sitting in the green. The Dow is up 360 points at 49,160. The NASDAQ is up 211 at 22,838. And the S&P 500 also in the green, up 38 points at 6,876. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:04.
Day after day, year after year, the heavy lifting, the repetitive motion, and now your body feels it. Your back, your knees, your quality of life.
At Access Legal, we stand up for people worn down by work.
Workers' comp is our sole focus, and our team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers. From sudden accidents to pain that builds over years of hard work, we're dedicated to fighting for the benefits you're entitled to. If you've been worn down by work, contact Access Legal for a risk-free consultation.
Search AXIS Legal today.
Borrow, don't buy. Did you know that your public library system has a variety of things you can borrow? Besides books, check out board games, cake pans, ukuleles, museum passes, video games, even electrical testing kits. Whether it's mastering a new skill, trying a new hobby, or learning a new language, your library loves to share resources with you. Access thousands of on-demand video courses with your library card. Courses can be accessed anytime, anywhere. Find out what your Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Jefferson County libraries have to offer. Learn more at getyourlibrarycard.org.
Recalculating route. Estimated arrival time. Never. For people with nasal congestion, snoring, or sleep apnea, finding a solution feels like a never-ending road trip.
First stop, my primary doctor. Then the pharmacy. Then a sleep specialist. Then an ENT.
What if there was just one destination for all your problems?
Welcome to Advent, Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care in one location. Over 95% of patients with severe nasal breathing issues report improvement. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
You have arrived at Clear Breathing.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Spring training baseball. Brewers will be facing the Athletics this afternoon. Brewers Extra Innings host Dom Cotroneo on some of the things he's watching this week.
There's a sneaky, monitoring the fourth outfielder spot. Where's Garrett Mitchell? Garrett hasn't played in the game yet, so want to make sure he's healthy, make sure he's okay. Blake Perkins has been playing, but then it's like this fourth outfielder spot between Blake Perkins, Garrett Mitchell, and now Brandon Lockridge or Akil Baddoo. Who could that be?
Crew fell yesterday to the Padres 7-5. Milwaukee Bucks back on the floor tonight as they'll be taking on the Miami Heat. That's a 7 o'clock tip over at Fiserv Forum. We'll have all the coverage for you starting at 6:30 here on WTMJ. Men's college basketball, Marquette looking to snap a 3-game skid, also looking for their first road win in conference play as they take on the Hoyas of Georgetown this evening. That's a 7 o'clock start. Let's take a look at the roads, your WTMJ time saver traffic. Not seeing any major issues, but we do have a minor backup. This is 94 northbound, starts right at Howard Avenue until you get past Lincoln as you're heading downtown. Not getting any reports of a crash, but again, you're kind of tapping the brakes through that section. Otherwise, rest of the system is looking good.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox & Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox & Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
And take a look at your forecast. Cloudy, breezy conditions as we move through the day, but then we'll see a chance for maybe some light snow tonight. Our high getting up around 38. Again, we could see some snow showers late this evening. Not expecting a whole lot of accumulation, less than an inch. Partly clouded this evening with a low down to 20. Into Wednesday will be mostly sunny, breezy, a high near 30 degrees. Thursday, mostly cloudy, highs in the mid-30s, and then a little bit of a warm-up. Friday, sunny conditions with highs in the low 50s. Right now, it's 28 degrees in Green Bay. We're sitting at 28 in Waukesha, and it's 28 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Neil Doyle, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scaffidi and Kristin Brey.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday show. Kristin Brey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You had a busy night. I'm good. You had a busy night last night.
I did have a busy night.
Yeah. Tell people what you were doing.
So I talked about it somewhat on the show, but we had a event at Turner Hall last night through Journal Sentinel on water and power questions that were asked about data centers. And so we had Arthur Harrington, who is an attorney at Godfrey & Kahn, who specializes in environmental and energy law, and then Melissa Scanlon, who's a director of the Water Center for Water Policy at the University of Wisconsin Milwaukee School of Freshwater Sciences. That is a title.
Really smart people.
Both really smart. I learned, so it was 2 hours. I learned a lot. And my overarching feel, it was funny because I left feeling both proud of what we put together as a team, of the work that went into putting this event on, and also feeling fairly depressed. and
depressed,
not depressed.
Why?
Well, because, and I think Joe Zepecki was there, and we were trying to be neutral, right? Because I think a lot of times on this topic, we hear from the business community, from Wisconsin Energy, from some of the local leaders who've had projects go forward, all the hype, right? All the reasons why this is a good thing. And then we have a camp that is environmentalists that are much more concerned. And so this is a topic that feels hard to get objective answers on because there's a lot of skin in the game. And also just because a lot is unknown, right? Like this technology is advancing so quickly. These projects have moved very quickly, a lot of times under non-disclosure agreements. And so I felt discouraged, not because, you know what it was? It was because there's a little bit of part of me that feels like we're damned if we do and we're damned if we don't. And because on the one side, one of the things we got into was the geopolitical nature of this. And I asked Arthur, I was like, where are we in comparison to China right now? And he goes, so behind. Right? Like
as far as the infrastructure.
The infrastructure and the advancements and even how their DeepSeek AI uses way less computing power. And the fact of the matter is, in a place like China that is top down, we're just going to displace people so we can build things. And there is no say in the democracy of these kinds of town hall meetings.
Yeah, they're not going to have town hall meetings.
They're like, this is just happening. Deal with it. And so their ability to move faster on things like this. But then when it comes to the decision-making that happens in America, we just talked about the complexity of how many different pieces are involved. You know, if you have one municipality making decisions and, you know, property taxes that benefit the people who are near there, but you have transmission lines that then are going to be built across other people's lands who had no say in the decision and weren't represented in that decision whatsoever. And we have two different energy companies between Wisconsin Energy and Alliant who may not have the same rate situation, depending on if they are the ones giving energy to the data centers. And then there's another conversation around private, but in Wisconsin, we can't have private like microgrids or like behind the meter opportunities like they can in Texas. And so just the complexity of municipalities versus states versus the country and how many people have to come together to try to make these decisions in comparison to how fast China's working. Like there's that aspect of it. And then there's a bunch of trade-offs when it comes to how much power, how much water, what they do to the water in order to cool it down. Like it was a ton of information. I learned a lot. I don't necessarily feel better.
Well, I was going to ask you, how would you describe it as more informational, or was there some give and take among the people that were attending about?
So we purposefully let everyone who came write questions down because we didn't want to hand around the microphone. Because if you've been paying attention, and those are more in town hall meetings when you're talking to decision makers, right? Like we've seen what happened in Port Washington when there's been concerned residents or activists show up and people have gotten arrested and there's been shouting matches because really the people who are on stage are not decision makers, right? Like we purposely tapped people to come answer these questions who are not lawmakers, who are not people who are going to financially benefit from this and are not, you know, any kind of decision makers and who just have the information. So the point was to answer some of the bigger questions that we don't know. And I definitely think we did that.
So I want to take a break, but I want to ask you the three pieces that I see as far as the assets: land, water, electricity. Those are the three big pieces. And I would assume all of those things were addressed in some way.
That was the focus last night was water and power.
Okay, water and power. So not so much land, because that's
we
a
talked
big
a little bit about land.
Yeah, so
we tried to have a visualization. We had a video to start the evening of like how many football fields 2,000 acres actually is.
Yeah, they're
and
massive.
There's the land for the data center itself, but then there's also the land for the plants that need to be, the different power sources that need to be built to be able to power the data centers.
And I'll just the geek in me that used to be an elected official. I know when you build massive buildings, there's a green space requirement that's tied to those. I'm curious, when you're talking about something the size of how many football fields?
It depends on the project. What
that green space equivalent or requirement would look like, and how you make that all work in a community that's not that large in the first place. Let's sort of dig in a little bit deeper. And I guess there's a couple things I would love to hear from the audience. I don't know where our audience, and I'm saying this honestly, is at on data centers. Whether they're in support, they don't know enough. they're against them, or whether you just basically think it's good or bad for Wisconsin. I would say from me today, these things are coming. I don't know, we know the top scale of how many we're going to have, but we certainly, I think, was it 45 or 47 projects that are in production, ongoing, being developed.
But a lot have been turned down.
Yes, and some have been turned down.
The backlash since August, there's been between Caledonia, DeForest, what was the other one? I'll think of the other one. But there's been a lot of projects where, Menominee, that they've, because of public outcry, that they've decided they're not moving forward.
And Caledonia, very close to me in Oak Creek, so that's one that I was familiar with. She's Kristin, I'm Steve. Lots more to talk about. Answer that question on the text line, 855-616-1620. Whether you think it's good or bad for Wisconsin, where you're at on the data centers, and where that story goes next in Wisconsin, we'll discuss after this.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. Well, you made it. 2025 is in the books. Or is it? Are your books ready for 2026? Have you been able to plan for 2026 growth? If you feel like you are running your business on a wing and a prayer, let us help you make sense of your numbers and get your business in financial shape to move forward in 2026. Don't be stuck in the past trying to clean up your books. Get a head start on making 2026 your best year yet. Make the new tax laws work for you to put more money in your pocket. Call us now to see what your business can do. The first meeting is free. Call 414-325-2040 now. You earned it. We help you keep it. That's 414-325-2040. Or visit us at nealgroup.net. That's NEAL group.net.
Ever wonder what it takes to feel truly wealthy and financially comfortable? Schwab asked Americans that question, and most said at least $2 million. But here's the thing, your number might be different. And that makes sense because your dreams, travel, retirement, and the legacy you want to leave are unique to you. That's why you need advice that's just as personal. The team at Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen and help you build a plan that fits your life. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
When snowstorms hit and the roads turn slick.
These slick roads are pretty brutal.
When school closings start rolling in and traffic slows to a crawl.
The snowfall closing schools in Kenosha.
We've got the latest updates on forecasts and everything else you need to know during severe winter weather. Find Fleet Farm Storm Team alerts on air and online at WTMJ.com or on the WTMJ mobile app. Stay safe. Stay informed with WTMJ.
All right, it's that time of year again. You know, we have Brewers broadcast that started up again on 620 WTMJ. And Point Taken is making it possible for you and 3 friends or family members to go to I'm going to get the date right, April 14th, Brewers Blue Jays game with a 4-pack of tickets, section 117, right behind home plate. So great seats. All you have to do is subscribe to the Extra Points newsletter, which we've done for how many months now? 5 months, 4 months, something like that?
October or November is when I feel like we started.
Now, I know a lot of you say, I already get enough emails and stuff, but it's once a week. It's a really good sort of look at our show, highlights, interviews, recommendations, links to things that we're doing away from the show, like Kristin's event last night we're trying to get back to in a second. All you have to do is text the word EXTRA, EXTRA, to 855-616-1620. We'll send you the link. Easy sign up, 4 questions. You're good to go. Just have to be a subscriber on March 26th, which is roughly, about a month from now, where we'll pick the winner and hopefully have them on the air from American Family Field, or at least the mobile studio out there on opening day as we do the lead into the game. So we'll tell you that again a couple times today. 855-616-1620, EXTRA, EXTRA. All right, so let's start with the things you were talking about last night. Electricity. What was the consensus? Did the both panelists agree, disagree? Where were they at?
So we did it separately. So we started. So the run of show was Greg Borowski, executive editor, welcomed everyone. I went through a timeline. I created a very truncated timeline of how quickly this has all happened. And in making that, I've realized this conversation is about as old as my toddler. Because ChatGPT was first publicly available November 30th, 2022. And by July of the next year, earlier, March of the next year, is when Microsoft said they were going to take over part of the mostly vacant Foxconn site, which, was celebrated. And then July, in the biennial budget, there was sales and tax exemptions built into it for qualified data centers in Wisconsin, basically saying we're open for business. And by the end of November of 2023, Microsoft broke ground. There was a lot of things happening behind the scenes in 2024. And then last year is when all of this really exploded as far as breaking ground, deals being proposed, deals being found out about, et cetera, et cetera. So it's trying to set the stage as far as how fast it's moving. Then we had a video answering some questions, and then Melissa came on and we did a water segment, and then we did a power segment. And so the only time that they were really together was at the end for some Q&A from the audience. So I wouldn't say that there was much agreeing, disagreeing, right? Because we were trying to answer people's questions about what we know.
What was the biggest concern from the audience, if you could gauge that? Was there a common theme? Because I can tell you from the text line, too rushed, impact on local communities, environmental, impacts. What happens when these data centers, if they became obsolete? You have a massive building, hard to fill, as I know, because I've had to fill massive buildings in our city of Oak Creek when I was an elected official. It's not easy. You have to do a lot of recruiting to get somebody to come into an existing building. All of those challenges are out there, especially when you're talking about buildings and land. Big use for data centers.
And so it was hard to gauge because people submitted questions instead of talking. I do think there was one applause line at some point when Melissa answered a question that was, I do think, because that's one of the things, right? When Marquette Law School polled on this, majority of Wisconsinites think that the costs outweigh the benefits as of right now. And I do think you could feel that sentiment both in the questions that were submitted and some of the reactions to some of the questions, as far as there's a lot of concern. And there's a lot of concern over who gets held, holding the bag, potentially. I think there's a lot of skepticism over who pays for our energy bill is going to go up, even though the PSC, who's the Public Service Commission, basically where we're at right now is that Wisconsin Energies has put a proposal almost 2 years ago for what they would charge very large customers. That has not been approved yet. But that's also a different plan than what Alliant is proposing. But since we have Wisconsin Energies here, we'll focus on that. So they're saying that they're protecting ratepayers in that what they call a tariff. The thing is that's kind of unknown is, are we going to, the stranded costs? We're already paying for, as ratepayers, we have $1 billion in stranded costs that we're already paying for, right? And so if something changes, right, because this technology is evolving so quickly, and like I said, where China is right now, they can have the same output with less computing power with how their DeepSeek model actually works. So if we're regulating things for technology, we're trying to regulate things right now and how slow our regulation process is with a technology that's evolving as quickly as it is. We could be regulating something that's going to be outdated 2 years from now.
Yeah, I mean,
and so that's my concern as far as how in our very slow political process of trying to do this right, and having people who are not necessarily equipped to understand this technology, it's really complicated.
Now, the interesting thing is some of the major players in AI are located in the United States. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Yeah, for sure.
So they, not that they're just going to think about the United States, they're thinking about the world, and at least they should be thinking about the world and all the potential risks and benefits of AI. So I think we have that. The other thing is whether we are beaten in some way in the technology race by China. There's still a need for computing power, and having a data center that's up and running in the United States will certainly help you regardless of what the technology is doing. I would have to think, with all that investment, all that firepower that's in the AI world, the tech bros with a few women leading the efforts in the United States, I think that should at least counter some of that. Are we going to be outdated in 2 years? It is rapid. That's the thing you mentioned at the beginning. It's so fast. Because we weren't talking about this, 2 years ago. I wasn't talking about it. I've talked about it in the last year, done a lot of reading on it. But I can look at all the text comments. It's all about how fast. Will they be obsolete at some point? Here's the other piece on the land. That's why I asked about the land thing. once you build a massive building, you're not getting that land back. There's only so much open space. And when you have data centers around southeastern Wisconsin, whether it's, well, Caledonia shut it down, but Mount Pleasant or
Port Washington,
Beaver Dam, you're not getting that land back. That land is now is going to be a building, which, love it or hate it, is going to be there for a long time, because the infrastructure investment in putting a massive building like that is millions, if not $1 billion. And that's not going to go away. So you never get the land back. So that's something that I think people should think about as well. Let's take a break. We got one more short segment. We're going to move on. I'm curious about a couple things. We'll get to that. Finish the conversation after this on Point Taken.
Restaurant inflation is everywhere, but not at the Mind Chef family restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Mind Chef is the most affordable dining destination in the area. The authentic Tuesday Mexican buffet is all you can eat in just $9.99 from 11 a.m. till 8. That's right, $9.99. Unbelievable. Kids 5 and under eat free today from the kids menu. They'll love the world-class game room quietly set away from the dining area. Your teenagers will really love it. Even adults love it. I urge you to visit the Mind Chef today for the all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet for under $10. Happy hour is 2 till 5 today with half-price cocktails, beer, and appetizers, half price. And Wednesday, the all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry is just $8.99. The Mind Chef, right there in downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh near the EAA. Lots of seating, close parking. You will not spend a lot of money at the Mind Chef restaurant in Hartford. Just Google it, Mind Chef, and walk on in today.
Education changes everything. It opens doors, shapes futures, and builds the foundation for our children's success. At City Forward Collective, we're working to transform our city's schools and ensure every Milwaukee child receives the high-quality education they deserve. We've taken real steps forward, but our work is far from done. This giving season, we're asking you to join us. Together, we can secure a stronger future for our children and a stronger future for Milwaukee. To support our mission, visit cityforwardcollective.org/donate. That's cityforwardcollective.org/donate.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets, something that can positively affect your mood, getting organized and clearing out the clutter. A well-rounded closet could be the most powerful room in your home. Inspired Closets can transform your closets or laundry room, your pantry, any space in your house. What separates Inspired Closets from the others? Their 3D design software and a culture that promises to build what you want and need. Call my friends Katie and Dan today, a wife-husband team ready to help. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
The only place to get this.
They have won 3 consecutive games, and how about 6 in their last 7? Rejuvenated, to be sure.
With some of this.
Giannis is going to play. Like Giannis himself has said it, they are trying to win and get into the playoffs. And at this point, we are past the point of no return because of what we just said before with the lottery odds.
Get it all on Bucks Talk, your all-encompassing Milwaukee Bucks postgame show. Only heard here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
But real quick, we're talking about the event last night Kristin hosted with the Journal Sentinel and the great guests. Was there sort of a look forward at the end of this thing? Like, what's the next thing that's going to happen other than, local communities saying yes or no to data centers?
Well, some of the next things that are going to happen. So there's 3 bills in the legislature right now that I think the Senate had a public hearing on them last week. One is there's conversations around, non-disclosure, like banning non-disclosure agreements, what to do about renewable energy and how that can be part of the solution. Shifting costs. So there's some conversations happening in the state legislature. We'll see. I mean, they're going to stop now because the session's over. PSC, I think I said committee before. It's commission. Public Service Commission should be deciding on the Wisconsin energy proposal by May 1st. So we'll have some answers there. And then I think we don't know how many more projects are planned.
The other thing to think about, as we're all wary, maybe potentially wary of what this might be, is we are aligning ourselves, the positive side of this, with some pretty significant U.S. companies.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that should never be disparaged.
If you want to see, we do have the video up from last night. It's 2 hours, but we posted it. If you text data to 855-616-1620, we can send you the YouTube link.
All right. We're going to talk about the State of the Union. It's coming tonight. We got Neil Doyle with local news before we get to any or all of that. Here's the latest from ABC.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. The U.S. men's Olympic hockey team's heading to Washington, D.C. They were invited by President Trump to attend tonight's State of the Union address. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said earlier that celebration will be a theme of his message.
You're going to hear a speech that is a celebration of 250 years of our nation and our nation's independence. You're going to hear the president share the stories of everyday Americans who have benefited from his policies.
Referring to his economic policies, expected to be a major theme in his address, and U.S. consumer confidence is up slightly this month, but still plenty of uncertainty after the Supreme Court's decision striking down the president's tariffs. Today's show host Savannah Guthrie says in a new video her family acknowledges it might be too late for her mother to be found alive, but that they're now offering a $1 million reward for Nancy Guthrie. And British lawmakers approved the release of papers related to former Prince Andrew's appointment as trade envoy. He was arrested last week. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:31. I'm Neil Doyle. A woman from Waukesha pleads guilty to disorderly conduct for threatening students when her dog got loose at Richmond School. Judith Plow lives next to the school, where her backyard borders an unfenced portion of the playground. She was arrested on 2 occasions when police say she threatened to shoot the teachers and hit her dog in front of 4th graders. Plow was sentenced to time served for 11 days in jail. Leaders in Madison working to save a utility rebate program. The Madison Consumer Assistance Program saves low-income families up to $30 per month on their utility bills. The bill credit was funded by the services themselves, but now the Public Service Commission has ruled that it cannot be funded through utility rates. A new proposal would fund the program through non-utility sources. It would also simplify eligibility requirements and make it easier for customers to sign up. The Green Bay Packers with a stern warning for season ticket holders. The team says those who purchase their tickets with the sole intent of reselling them should not be season ticket holders. People who repeatedly resell their tickets may lose their renewal privileges. Front office staff are once again conducting a non-renewal exercise that ensures season tickets are being used as intended. More than 150,000 fans are on the Packers season ticket waiting list. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the green. The Dow is up 300 points at 49,100. NASDAQ is up 179 at 22,806. And the S&P 500 is up 32 points at 6,870. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Take a look at the roads, your WTMJ time saver traffic. One minor issue we're dealing with, you're kind of on the brakes. This is 4394 northbound. There is some road work happening, so part of the right lane is actually blocked off right near Holt Avenue. So we're seeing some backups there in that stretch. That starts at Howard until you get past Lincoln. Again, that's due to some road work. No crash in that scene. Otherwise, everything else moving nicely across the system. Cloudy conditions and breezy as we move throughout our Tuesday. We'll see a high up around 38 degrees, and then tonight we'll see a chance for some snow. Could get a little burst here and there this evening. We're not expecting a whole lot of accumulation, probably less than an inch. Partly cloudy conditions otherwise tonight, a low down to 20. Sunny and breezy on Wednesday with a high near 30. Will be mostly cloudy Thursday, highs in the mid-30s. And then Friday, sunny conditions and a bit of a warm-up with a high near 52. Right now, it's 29 degrees in Madison. We're sitting at 30 degrees in Kenosha, and it's 29 in Milwaukee. I'm Neil Doyle, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 1034.
And Abbey Home, our mission statement is making lives easier. Let us make your life easier by custom designing the bathroom to fit your needs so you can stay in your home longer. We will make your shower system safe but stylish by taking out your old tub, and you'll be able to walk right into your new shower. We'll add grab bars, a stationary seat, and glass doors that'll make your new bathroom a stylish success. Right now, get a free shower door with all bathrooms and payments as low as $98 a month. If somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
At Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage, our closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 less than the banks or the mortgage guys with the Rocket for exactly the same rate. Find out how much you can save at accunet.com.
Hey, Wisconsin anglers. This Saturday, head to MW Marine for a free fishing seminar. No reservation needed. Meet Warren Zarin from the Mercury Lund Pro Team and learn West Coast bass techniques that flat out work in Wisconsin. Pick up tips you can use right away. And while you're there, check out the boats and get ready for your best season yet. This Saturday at MW Marine. Free, fun, and you're invited.
Hey, John Mercure here for Mend Studios. You deserve to feel better. You deserve to feel healthy. You deserve to feel great about yourself. Mend Studios has a long-term wellness as the goal. That's how they're going to do it. That's how they're going to take care of you. I know and trust the therapists at Mend Studio. They customize every single treatment, and they've got multiple locations. They're in Mequon and Brookfield, both convenient, both easy to get to. Start at the website, mendstudio.com. I never feel better than I do after a session at Mend. Mendstudio.com.
Thanks for finding us on your Tuesday, and thanks for all those folks who just signed up for the newsletter. Keep that going. 855-616, text the word extra. You can get a quick 4-question subscription page that pops into your the link for it anyway, and then you get a chance to win a 4-pack of Brewer tickets. We'll talk about that a lot in the next month ahead as we get closer and closer to the home opener at American Family Field. All right, so the president is delivering his first State of the Union of his second term. Last year he did an address to Congress, which is typical. They don't have a State of the Union the first year. They do it in the beginning of the second year. It's 8 p.m. our time. Like, why wouldn't they start that earlier? Like, I don't.
So it's 9 p.m. East Coast time?
Yeah. Like, why? And the president has already said it's going to be long.
And think it's going to be longer than his RNC speech?
I don't know, but that was long.
That was long.
Yeah. And I would suspect it's going to be as long as, because once he gets going, and I think, regardless of what you think about some of his cognitive foibles, is that the right word, foibles? Anyway.
It's a fun word to say.
Yeah, it is. He gets on a roll and he just goes. And I was listening to the news update there, and he's going to celebrate America, obviously 250 years, the big year, right, of our country. I'm sure there'll be a lot of that, a lot of congratulations going around. But one of many side stories beyond what I just said is that at least 50 members in the House and the Senate, Democrats, aren't going to show up.
Not only that, they're doing counter-programming.
Yes. They're doing their own thing.
It's like the TPUSA halftime show.
yeah, right? Which not many people
That's
watch.
the last time I think the counter-programming was a popular term.
And I'll just say it because I know we have some comments from a guy who's usually known for talking about sports.
Although more and more politics.
Yeah, because he's
considering... wasn't he one of the co-hosts of the News Nation Town Hall last year?
Yeah. We're talking about Stephen A. Smith, by the way. But my take is I would rather everybody shows up. I'm not a big fan. Now, show up and not yell at the president like happened with Republicans or
it's happened every year, right? For the last
I'm not a fan of that.
I think it started with one of Obama's State of the Unions where it now feels inevitable that someone shouts out during
happened
the
to
event.
Biden, happened to Trump. It's just, I'm not a fan of that, so just shut the hell up and listen. You don't have to like the words. So I don't know where you fall on the 50 members not showing up. I'm not a fan of it.
I'm trying. I have not done a ton of research into which 50 are going, and also what is the core purpose as far as like what are they trying to accomplish by
voice
not
their displeasure with the administration and their policies.
So if it is some of the things that I read was that Democrats are trying to put forward a coherent and aggressive rebuttal, but if 50 aren't there and the rest are there, doesn't that feel divided as far as where the party is as a whole of how we are responding to
Democrats, you mean?
How Democrats are as a group, how they are responding to this administration in general. And so that is more of, is this creating more division within the party than a coherent message that voters and a base can get behind going into a midterm year?
Yeah, and you and I've shared. I've mostly shared with you some of the sort of the disagreements among Democrats, including people like Van Jones and others who say, "Man, you got to get your message straight."
Well, I mean, Stephen A. Smith's a Democrat, right?
Yeah,
he's floated the idea of running for president. So let's play that clip quickly.
At some point in time, ladies and gentlemen, there's got to be an adult in the room. The president of the United States is going to give his State of the Union address, and the Democrats got other plans. So some are talking about walking out in the middle of his speech. Others are talking about boycotting it altogether and essentially finding something else to do. I'm here to tell you that neither is acceptable. If you're going to act as juvenile, as petulant, as petty, as you accuse the president of the United States to be, how are you ever going to hold a high moral ground, at least high enough to judge him accordingly?
So that's why I don't totally disagree with him, but that's why I want more clarity on what they're trying. Like, is it just to draw a distinction? Is it to draw attention away from the speech? Like, I'm less clear on what the motivation is of what they're trying to achieve.
Well, I think it's a reflection of why I don't think Democrats have figured it all out yet. Democrats are, and I'm not a Democrat, but they're in a great position, at least looking at midterms. The president has never been
60% disapproval.
As unpopular as he is right now. The historically low numbers for approval and high numbers for disapproval. But never, again, this is the Republicans saying, never underestimate Democrats' ability to screw things up. Including not having a coherent message, not having, as you just said, a consistent, we're all doing the same thing. This could backfire against them. And I'm also curious, and here's how I'm going to watch it tonight. I'm going to have it in the background. I'm not going to pay attention to.
You're going to stay up that late?
I'll probably have to, but I'm going to be reading a book at the same time. So I'm going to be sort of, if something catches my ear, I'll pay attention.
You'll look up.
And of course, I can look at the highlights later or in the morning because I wake up very early. So that's how I'm going to be consuming it. But I'm going to be curious about what this other thing is they're going to be doing, and I'm also curious how the Democrats in the room act. And the other big, really tension-filled moment is how the president either addresses or interacts with the members of the Supreme Court.
Yes.
Because he blew their, what's up at least 6 of them last week.
Was it last year when he addressed Congress that it was like Amy Coney Barrett had that like icy glare at him? Because there had been before last year, there was an exchange of some sort of him kind of like insinuating that they were in his pocket.
Yeah. And they don't like that.
They don't like that.
Yeah. And I'm unless he changes course, which I don't think the president likes to do, unless we're talking about policy, because he changes course all the time. But in his words, that's going to be an awkward moment. And I guess maybe even this question, will we see all the justices there? They don't always all attend. Most of them attend, but they're not. There's been times when some haven't been there. So will all 9 show up? That's something I'll be watching. We'll take a quick break.
Are you taking any wagers on anything?
Am I taking a wager?
Yeah. Any prop bets?
Let's do this. Let's after the break, because we want to get to some other stuff, including spring break in Mexico not looking as fun as it looked like 2 weeks ago. How long? We'll do a guess on how long it'll be.
Okay.
We'll give our answers after the break.
Save on the best quality furniture and mattresses during the President's Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. With major discounts from our premier suppliers, you will save big bucks on top brands like Bradenton Young, made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Bradenton Young is known for its fine quality leather upholstery. Fjords brings you modern Scandinavian design recliners and sofas, ergonomically engineered for more hip and back support. Norwalk, with American roots that go back over 100 years, specializes in making furniture just for you. Choose the piece, style, fabric, or leather you want, and in just 35 days, we'll deliver your new sofa, chair, or sectional. In-stock or special orders are all sale priced. Need a little help putting it all together? At Ken Michaels Furniture, our design staff is ready to help you with your purchases, and it's free. Stop in today and save now during the President's Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
You've spent a lifetime taking care of others. Now it's your turn to enjoy life your way. At Capri Communities, they offer vibrant senior living where neighbors become friends, and each day brings something to smile about.
Well, it's breakfast with the boys, and then bingo is at 3 in the afternoon. I lost that super lady I lived with for 60 years, but have found a home and doing well. The accommodations, the facilities, it's been a pleasure.
Find your perfect new home at capricommunities.com.
So many emails coming in, this trip will sell out. Vince Vitrano here, Vinny's European Vacation. Would love to have you join us in October, traveling to southern Italy and Sicily with WTMJ and Colette Vacations. Our tour begins in Palermo, Sicily, happens to be where my dad's family is from. He's coming on the trip as well. Agrigento, Sorrento, Amalfi Coast, Positano, Pompeii, and we end in Rome. Nothing you need to do except sign up and show up, as my team at Colette has thought of and taken care of everything. I'll send you a brochure with a breakdown of each day on the trip, all the sites, sign-up information, and even your all-in cost and options. Email me, vince@WTMJ.com. That's vince@WTMJ.com. We've got a special get-together here at the station coming up as well. You can meet me, talk with all the folks at Colette. That's coming up on March 24th.
Let me show you the world. Come away with me.
Vince@WTMJ.com, Southern Italy and Sicily this fall.
What's up, Milwaukee? Christian Yelich here. Big news. Isaac Slade from The Fray and Jake Owen are joining us for this year's Home Plate charity event happening May 21st, 2026 at Landmark Credit Union Live. This night is all about giving back to the city that gives us so much. We're raising support for organizations that help Milwaukee families, students, and small businesses thrive. Get ready for an amazing night of music, community, and impact. Let's make this one the best yet. For more information on tickets, please head to Yelly22concert.com.
Beautiful and safe. Decks built to last by Outdoor Living Unlimited, Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck installation team. For amazing ideas, go to our Outdoor Living Unlimited Instagram page. For a free estimate, go to OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
All right, everybody. So our guesses, we're going to move on to another topic, but our guesses for the length of the president's State of the Union, first one in the second term, was the address to Congress last year. Just to ballpark it, last year his address to Congress, joint session, was an hour and 39 minutes.
Which is funny because when I quickly looked this up, the longest speech was Bill Clinton, who holds the record. So I guess since that wasn't an official
it was joint
State
session
of the Union, it's still Bill Clinton who spoke for 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 49 seconds in 2000. But that also would have been, no, that 2000, okay. And then Donald, Trump's average in his first term was 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah. You know what the shortest inaugural and or State of the Union speech ever was?
45 minutes?
No. George Washington in 1793, his inaugural speech was 135 words delivered in about 2 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
George, not a man of a lot of words. He was a great writer, but he didn't like to speak that much. He had really bad teeth, too, which probably hurt him a lot. So maybe that was part of the reason.
Got it.
All right. So my guess is an hour 30 on the head.
On the head. I'll do an hour 45.
All right. So one of us is going to be right. Closer.
We'll see who's closer. Do you think it'll be in between, or do you think one of us will be over?
I think it's going to be in between. So it's just a matter of who gets it
All right.
closer.
We'll find out.
If you have a guess, there's no prize, but if you have a guess, 855-616-1620. All right, so I wanted to throw this in. We got to take another break in a second here, but I don't know. Were you a big fan of spring breaks when you were in college? And
I never went on spring break.
Really? Mm-mm. I went to Daytona Beach 4 years of college.
Really?
Every year. And those trips were legendary, and they changed my life in a lot of different ways.
What did I do for spring break?
Nothing?
No. Well, I also had an
non-traditional.
I had a non-traditional because I was at community college, and then by the time I transferred to a 4-year.
Then you went to Berkeley, and every day is spring break at Berkeley, right?
No, that's definitely not true. Yeah, I feel like I had a lot of my friends were already graduated, so I did things with them and just took the week to, I don't know. I didn't do the wild Girls Gone Wild spring break.
No, well, you missed out.
Kept my top on.
I definitely did the Gone Wild thing when I was on spring break, and sometimes when I have a few beers in me or a few drinks or a few Negronis, I'll tell you some of those stories. They're legendary. All right, so spring break in Mexico is a big deal. And there's so many resort communities, and we talked a lot about them when we were talking about this the other day, Puerto Vallarta and Cancun and all those places that you can go to in Mexico. Well, that's a big spring break area. And we know with the recent violence in Puerto Vallarta that a lot of people are now scrambling to either get out of those plans or postpone them, which doesn't help you for spring break. But I'm going to say this because I've been in Mexico twice in the last 3 months. I love the country. I don't like the violence, but it's spectacular. It looks amazing. And I went inland. I didn't just stay at the resort. I went to visit an ancient Mayan ruins that were amazing. And
that you weren't allowed to touch.
Those were fenced off. We could
not allowed to touch those, but we'll be allowed to touch a pyramid.
I hope so. From your mouth to God's ear, or the pharaohs, the late pharaohs' ears. So I don't want this to hurt that because, first of all, it is a tremendous country. And as somebody who's invested a lot of time talking about the relationship between Mexican government, our government, the citizens of Mexico and the United States, for a long time before we sort of mucked it up with immigration and poor policy, that was a cooperative relationship. You have to look no further than the western side of the country. Hispanics were the majority population. In some cases, they're going to approach that again pretty soon. That's the changing dynamic of the country. So I don't want anything to blow up the ability of U.S. citizens to enjoy what they enjoy in Mexico. And I would hate to see this hurt that. That's my message.
I also think we took to talk to this yesterday. It's like, I think in the long run, yes. I also totally understand in the next month or so being like, well, maybe this spring break we can.
Yeah, but here's the breaking news. Spring break is coming. So people are already canceling their plans.
That's what I mean. So for this year, as far as the unknown of like how long is this going to take to calm down, I don't blame people for saying, maybe we'll do something else. Now, a year from now, yes, hopefully everything is back to normal and people can travel normally. But I don't blame people for being a little risk averse if they're planning to go like in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Now, if you're talking about college students, a little more open to like, we'll just risk it. No. So the advisory is basically saying anyone planning on traveling to the area and those cities in Mexico, especially Puerto Vallarta, should be very prepared. Be very thoughtful and considerate about your actions before you go there. Be aware of the security, understand what the security is, understand where you go and when you go somewhere. Because one of the cool things about going to Mexico now, having done it twice in 3 months, is you can stay at the resort, and some people do that, but getting away from it is like part of the fun because it's a beautiful country.
To actually experience the culture instead of just the all-inclusive resort.
So while I think it's smart to be aware, I think it will change, as you were talking about, it will change people's plans to sort of do other things other than staying at the resort. So hopefully this doesn't whack tourism in Mexico, because I'd hate to see that happen. All right, another quick break on Point Taken.
If you can't handle the heat, don't worry. That's not a problem here.
A long bomb from Thomas, who just dealt the knockout punch.
The Bucks take on the Miami Heat at Fiserv Forum.
Thomas once more turns the corner and hits another one with a foul. Cam Thomas is on some kind of heater now.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30 on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ, Steve Scaffidi here for QC Kinetics. I love talking about QC Kinetics because they changed my life. I had elbow pain, bad elbow strain, tear maybe, and the pain wouldn't go away. It hurt to turn a doorknob. So I went to QC Kinetics last summer I started. I had 5 treatments with Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team, and I met Dr. Caravelli a bunch of times, and she walked me through. She was such a great communicator, as is their staff. They use the latest in regenerative treatments. So no surgery, no pain meds. It's real science, uses your body's own healing powers, concentrates it right where you need it. And for me, it was my left elbow. So whether you're training for a marathon instead of giving up running, whether you want to walk around Disneyland or Disney World, maybe you're back to work, climbing a ladder, or whatever you do at work, those are real stories from real QC Kinetics patients. The sooner you start treatment, the sooner the inflammation goes away and the sooner joint damage slows down. I am a testament to that, and it works. If you want to find out if you're a potential for QC Kinetics and their great regenerative treatments, the consultation's free. All you have to do is call 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559, QC Kinetics.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me. Not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem. And I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who'll tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Your European experts at Fox World Travel are ramping up and busy as ever. When you want to see more of Europe, Princess Cruises delivers. With Princess Cruises and Fox World Travel, explore iconic Mediterranean ports by day, then relax in classic comfort by night. From immersive shore excursions to destination-inspired dining, every moment is designed to feel effortless. Ready to set sail on your Mediterranean adventure? Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com to book your European getaway.
Keep the comfort in and the weather out with beautiful new windows and doors from Siding Unlimited. For ideas, go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page. For a free estimate and honest price guarantee, go to sidingunlimited.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
All right, WTMJ is throwing strikes for a cause, and you are invited. Bowling for Babies, presented by Gruber Law Offices, is Saturday, March 7th at Village Bowl in Menominee Falls, and we're raising funds for Milwaukee Diaper Mission. Put together a team of 4 and hit the lanes with us. Registration is $170 per team. If you want in, text the word baby to the WTMJ talk and text line at 855-616-1620 to sign up. I'm very excited about this. I got to start actually pushing more on my social media of coming. There's going to be prizes for the 3 top teams. We have a silent auction across the board. Vince Vitrano, Jen Latta, Alex Strofe, Ben Bruss, Mercure, me. Whole lineup of people are going to be there. I think a lot of other people from Good Karma Brands are going to be there playing or hanging out. It's going to be a very fun afternoon on March 7th. For a very good cause that is close. Actually, tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. Megan Johnson from Diaper Mission is going to come on our show.
Oh, cool.
So you can hear more about what the mission is if you haven't heard me talk about it before, of how many families they help, what the need is. So she's going to come on the show tomorrow. And I think she's also going to be there bowling. But
awesome.
So text BABY to 855-616-1620 for more information.
And Jazz better stack the hell out of my team because I'm not going to be there, but Jazz is going to represent me. So,
are you going to dictate what the team name has to be?
No, but I want great bowlers. So, Jazz, if you're not already working on finding out who the best bowlers are in this building, get on it.
Jazz, are you a good bowler? Do you have?
I took a bowling class and kind of knew how to, but I still can't curve the ball right.
In high school or college? Because it'd be very Wisconsin.
It was in college.
Oh,
maybe you could just be the coach and you have 4 other good bowlers.
Did you have a bowling class in high school?
Yeah, we had a team. Yeah.
So they didn't offer bowling at my high school, but I think it's a Southeast Wisconsin thing that's a popular gym class.
When I went to UWM, they had a bowling class.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. But as far as it being a class, we didn't have it in high school. It was not offered. But I know a lot of people who had it.
So you basically suck at bowling. Is that what you're saying?
I'm fine.
All right.
I have no bowling trophies.
All right, we'll find out. We'll find out on your big event, Bowling for Babies. All right, news is next.
3 generations ago, it was about doing one thing and doing it right.
Hardwood, tile, carpet, floors that had to last because our name, Adair, was on them. Over time, homeowners asked us to do more. Kitchens, bathrooms, full remodels. And so our name changed to Adair Floors and Remodeling.
But flooring has always been the foundation, literally.
And it's something the next generation already understands.
Hi, I'm Ava. Hi, I'm Quinn. My dad does floors.
From hardwood and luxury vinyl plank to tile and carpet, we handle selection, layout, and professional installation.
And because we also remodel homes, we know how flooring works with everything else: transitions, finishes, and long-term durability.
When you hire Adair, you're getting experience you can stand on and people who will be here for decades to come.
Call my dad. Bye-bye.
Adair Floors and Remodeling. Built on flooring, trusted for remodels. 3 generations, 1 standard. Call us at 414-761-3660 for your free flooring estimate.
Amy Cox did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. And with that money, she decided to treat herself to an anti-aging red light mask. Will she look like a horror movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend Kevin be scarred for life? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's savings, and if she's willing to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin, well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Many wins. Many wins. Waiting at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. This February, you could break the bank and get down with a share of $300,000 in prizes. Bust out your rewards card and play to earn entries. It all goes down with Thursday drawings. Break the bank. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. Start the new year right. Use your vision benefits and schedule your annual comprehensive eye exam. You can check out new frame styles and order your annual supply of contact lenses all in one place. Shopco Optical is committed to quality eye care and will create personalized vision solutions tailored to your specific vision and lifestyle needs. New year, new you, new style. Call Shopco Optical or visit shopco.com to schedule an appointment at a location nearest you.
If you can't handle the heat, don't worry. That's not a problem here.
Thomas once more turns the corner and hits another one with a foul. Cam Thomas is on some kind of heater now.
The Bucks take on the Miami Heat at Fiserv Forum. Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30 on the home of the Bucks, 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
Just after 11 o'clock, it's 31 degrees, cloudy, breezy conditions, chance for some snow tonight with a high up around 38. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Deal Doyle. Damage assessment and cleanup underway from Philadelphia to Maine after a major winter storm moved through the Northeast. WBZ TV reporter Levin Reed is in hard-hit Sandwich, Massachusetts.
The wind gusts got up towards, 70 and 80 miles per hour, and we see toppled trees that are down and lines that are down across the road. This tree right here is broken in 2 parts, and we're on Main Street. This is an area that actually goes through to the whole town, and they're able not to go through. They're expecting crews to come in here to help.
Thousands of people still without power and thousands of flights once again canceled today. The family of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie is increasing the reward being offered. Her daughter, Today Show host Savannah Guthrie, making that announcement in a video on social media.
We need her to come home. For that reason, we are offering a family reward of up to $1 million for any information that leads us to her recovery.
Authorities have been going through thousands of tips and have some DNA evidence that is still undergoing testing. Milwaukee lawyer Michael Hupy has offered a $100,000 reward for information on the case. 2 Wisconsin Republicans want the state to re-implement the death penalty for those convicted of first-degree sexual assault of a child.
Wisconsin abolished capital punishment more than 170 years ago, following a botched public execution in 1851. Now, State Senator Chris Kappenga and Representative Elijah Benke are working to reintroduce the death penalty as a punishment option alongside life in prison in cases involving sexual abuse of children under 13. DNA evidence would have to tie the convicted person to the crime. The measure is unlikely to advance this session after the Assembly concluded business Friday. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything's still in the green. The Dow is up 362 points at 49,166. NASDAQ up 227 at 22,854. And the S&P 500 up 45 points at 6,880. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:04.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you, who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets, something that can positively affect your mood, getting organized and clearing out the clutter. A well-rounded closet could be the most powerful room in your home. Inspired Closets can transform your closets or laundry room, your pantry, any space in your house. What separates Inspired Closets from the others? Their 3D design software and a culture that promises to build. All my friends Katie and Dan today, a wife-husband team ready to help. Inspired Days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin, Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Spring training baseball, Brewers will take on the Athletics this afternoon. A 2:05 first pitch. Crew fell yesterday to the Padres 7-5. Milwaukee Bucks back on the floor tonight. They'll be taking on the Miami Heat. 7 o'clock tip over at Fiserv Forum. We'll have all the coverage for you starting at 6:30 here on WTMJ. Men's college basketball, Marquette looking to snap a 3-game skid. Also looking for their first road win in conference play as they take on the Georgetown Hoyas tonight. That's a 7 o'clock start. Take a look at the roads. Your WTMJ time saver traffic. Still a little bit of an issue. 4394 northbound. This is due to some road work in the right lane. Again, this is northbound right at Holt Avenue. So we're seeing a couple of backups. You're kind of tapping the brakes as you hit Howard and then kind of eases up once you get past Lincoln. So some more road work there in that stretch. Seeing some typical delays as well. 94 east and westbound right near the stadium interchange. That's our construction zone. Otherwise, the rest of the system is looking good. Your forecast, cloudy and breezy, conditions will continue throughout today. High getting up around 38. And then tonight, we'll see a chance for maybe some light snow. Not expecting a whole lot of accumulation, maybe less than an inch. Otherwise, partly cloudy and a low down to 20. For Wednesday, will be mostly sunny, breezy once again, high near 30 degrees. Thursday, mostly cloudy, highs in the mid-30s. And then plenty of sunshine Friday and a bit of a warm-up with a high near 52. Right now, it's 29 degrees in Green Bay. We're sitting at 30 in Waukesha, and it's 31 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Neil Doyle, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scaffidi and Kristin Brey.
Welcome to the 11 o'clock hour of Point Taken. We have no guests. Two Tuesdays in a row that we have no guests.
No guest Tuesday. Maybe that's okay.
I love our guests.
Mm-hmm.
It is fun sometimes when you and I just get to banter back and forth.
Because we don't get the time to talk much.
Exactly. All right. So we were very excited and very proud of Team USA across all the different sports for the Winter Olympics. It was the first time that we came in second for both the amount of gold medals we won and overall for the Winter Olympics.
Most ever by the U.S. team.
Yep. But what country dominates the Winter Olympics? Norway.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, they were first in both gold medals and total, and this is a typical performance for them as a country. And so one of the things I've been seeing across social media is looking at Norway's approach to youth sports. Because you think about it, how does a country that's population is smaller than Wisconsin, because it's 5 million people, produce athletes and that beat a country of 350 million people?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been interesting to look at how differently Norway approaches youth sports from America. So they have an 8-page document called Children's Rights in Sports. And I want to talk through some of what's in there and get your reaction.
How come there's 12 things? Oh, that's 8
pages. It's 8 pages.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought there was 8 things.
So friendship and fun come first and foremost.
Who doesn't like friendship and fun?
Kids have as much of a right to help choose and plan their activities as their parents and coaches.
That doesn't happen here.
Trying lots of sports early is more important than mastering one.
Mm-hmm.
Every child has a right to participate, even if they can't afford it financially. And yes, they get participation trophies. There are no scores, rankings, or winners until kids turn 11.
We do some of that. My grandkids, they don't keep score for the most part.
They don't keep score?
No.
Well, what age?
7.5 and 4.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are no travel teams or national championships until the kids turn 13 in order to limit time, cost, stress, and injury.
That's a big one because my oldest grandson, Max, he was just in Arizona playing on his baseball team.
And he's 9?
He's 10 years old.
10.
Yeah. And he was the home run champ, by the way, at the tournament.
Nice. Yeah. All coaches must take a course about Norway's core sports values and conduct.
Smart coaches, yeah.
Kids get to decide if they want to participate in competition or not.
Okay.
Sports clubs are run with an emphasis on minimizing traveling and costs so that kids from all backgrounds can play.
That doesn't happen here.
That does not happen here. The overall goal is to get kids to participate in sports for as long as possible, and 93% of kids in Norway play a sport.
Now, that's got to be, like, I didn't have a chance because I didn't want to read ahead because I wanted to have you just tell me this stuff, but I would guess that in the U.S. it's not 90%.
No.
Maybe 50%.
A lot of it just because it's become cost prohibitive.
Yeah. Or access.
Sports are seen as an important part of everyone's entire life, not something that will lead to scholarships or professional sports career. And Norway calls all of this joy of sport. It leads to healthy, happy kids and adults. The Olympic success is just a bonus. To me, especially, and I think it's probably different from when you were a kid. It's definitely different from when I was a kid. But the monetization and intensity of youth sports now in this country is very different than what is outlined here. I don't even know how much of this we could actually implement here, but
the travel
it's
team
interesting.
Thing would never fly. I've done, in my old show a couple shows ago, maybe 3 shows ago, I've talked about the sort of the idea that parents make the celebration of the travel team when the kids go to bed or they put their kids in their rooms and they sort of do the parents thing and party and drink excessively. That's a real.
Is that a thing?
Oh yeah, trust me. It doesn't end when they're. And here's the crazy part. Part of it's the culture we live in Wisconsin. We love to drink apparently. It doesn't end when their kid's not in the sport anymore. The parents, because they become bonded by their drinking experiences related to the travel teams, they still do this after their kids are long out of these travel team experiences.
Well, is it just because they're friends?
They become
friends
because they drank together at their kids' tournaments?
Well, I don't know if that's a main problem. I mean, if you're going to be traveling and supporting your kid, like I would hope that you make friends with the other parents and
the friendship
and find
not
enjoyment
about
out
the
of
friendship. I'm talking about the drinking part of it. That's becomes a culture of drinking that really doesn't need to be around kids who are 10 and 12 years old or 14 years old when they're playing a sport. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. I have less insight into this world.
Yeah, because you're not experiencing that. No. I used to be, when I was a lot younger, I used to coach middle school kids, and I could see it already. There was people that brought rec league. There were parents that brought drinks to the games, like during the day. It's like, really? That's Wisconsin for you. That's one of the things I don't like about Wisconsin.
That seems like a departure from what we were talking about as far as the impact on kids.
But you highlighted that travel team thing, and I think that's part of the story here.
I just mean as far as like the expectation of how much you have to pay in order for your kid to be competitive and participate is
expensive,
wild. And I think it's because I am a big believer in that sports are good for kids. I also think theater was good for kids. But as far as team sports, learning how to lose, learning how to work together, there's so much character building that goes into finding a sport that you love or multiple sports that you love, that making it as accessible as possible. Like, I am a big fan of that. And it's great to see that it's working out for a place like Norway, and that as such a small country, while participating, having like the main goal being fun and friendship and joy and participation, like what they have seen as an outcome by focusing on that versus, winner takes all. Because we have a lot of burnout. We have a lot of injury and burnout for kids before they're even in college.
Well, I'll take a break. I'll tell you the story about when I was having my last knee scope and when I walked into the waiting room. Oh, I'll tell you that story after the break.
Tease.
Yes, that's a tease in radio. Point taken.
Save on the best quality furniture and mattresses during the President's Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. With major discounts from our premier suppliers, you will save big bucks on top brands like Bradenton Young, made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Bradenton Young is known for its fine quality leather upholstery. Fjords brings you modern Scandinavian design recliners and sofas, ergonomically engineered for more hip and back support. Norwalk, with American roots that go back over 100 years, specializes in making furniture just for you. Choose the piece, style, fabric, or leather you want, and in just 35 days, we'll deliver your new sofa, chair, or sectional. In-stock or special orders are all sale priced. Need a little help putting it all together? At Ken Michaels Furniture, our design staff is ready to help you with your purchases, and it's free. Stop in today and save now during the President's Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors in Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything in recreation. This week, we talk a great event, Open Season Sportsman's Expo coming up in the Dells. We talked about ATVs, UTVs, and snowmobiling, big thing in Wisconsin. We wrapped it up with a great conversation about maple syrup production in this great state of Wisconsin.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
All right. All for the next month, we're going to tell you all about our giveaway on Point Taken. The Extra Points newsletter is the way you can access your ability to win a 4-pack of tickets. Section 117. What does that mean? Right behind home plate for the Cruise game against the American League champion Toronto Blue Jays on Tuesday, April 14th. I think it's a 6:30 start, but don't quote me on that. All you have to do is subscribe. Easy peasy. You get a newsletter once a week. You'll love it. It's fun. We make it as fun as possible. It's a quick read. Comes Sunday morning into your inbox. That's all you have to do, but you have to sign up first. Text the word EXTRA, E-X-T-R-A, E-X-T-R-A, so 855-616-1620, and we'll send you the link. Sign up. You got to be on that list on March 26th when we pick the winner. We'll announce it on our awesome, which is always fun to do, the opening day home opener broadcast with the.
God, I hope the weather's good.
Yeah, not freezing.
I really hope the weather's good.
I have not had good luck with weather in the last 3 or 4 of those things. So quick story. We were talking about sports injuries. when I had my first, I think I tore my MCL, got to be 20 some years ago. You walk into an emergency room, or waiting room for my doc. It's all old people. Fast forward, like, I don't know how many years ago was that I had my last scope, left knee. It's all young people in the waiting room.
Oh,
like, dramatic difference. So I think that's one of the things that I noticed. And it's one of the costs of participation. Now, I ChatGPT'd the number of U.S. kids, because you dropped the big bomb, 93%
of kids
in Norway play a sport. The number here, just over 50%. Between 6 and 17. It's a big range.
It is a big range. And it'd be interesting to see what the drop-off is, because I have to imagine 17-year-olds are less than... I don't know, though, as far as getting your kid... Like, what is the prime age to start getting your kids in sports? Because, so, like, Frankie's 2.5. We're doing gymnastics right now. We're going to start doing swimming. But
I think it's pretty young. My granddaughter's 4. She does gymnastics and soccer. My 7-year-old does soccer, basketball, football. They're already doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
All the way through. I would say it drops off in high school, wouldn't you?
That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah,
as far as it's more of like what is the peak, like, of the age brackets? What is the highest percentage of kids playing at that age? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's 6 versus like 10.
So from the 9-2, our oldest daughter on the text line was a 3-sport athlete but refused to go the travel team route so she could go to camp each summer. She's the only one from her class to play a D1 sport because she did not have injuries from overtraining. Yeah. That's a real thing, and that's a parent's dilemma. It's like, how much do you want to push this kid? And I always tell parents, if they ask, let your kid decide.
Yeah.
God, if you're forcing them, like, what are you doing?
Well, that's one of the things Mike and I mean, granted, she's 2.5. But Mike ran track at Whitewater, so athlete. I played basketball through high school until I departed to go act. But we're athletic people, love sports. So, like, our goal is we certainly want Frankie to sign up for as much as she wants to play a lot of different things. But we both are also on the same page that we don't want, unless she loves it, we're not going to push her to be doing all of these things, because it's also like the sacrifice of your life as a parent to be doing this. And then if we have another kid, then you're not spending time at all with your spouse because you're dividing and conquering, and one of you is going with one kid and then the other is going with the other kid. And if you have another kid on top of that, of like what it does to your family life. And if you as the parents are pushing it and it's not even the kids who are like, I love this so much, what are you doing?
Yeah, one of my friends texted me. It's like, why do you care what people do the parents do on travel teams? Because I think it's a culture that exists out there. And again, not to demonize all parents, because all parents don't do this. It's not necessarily a great example to see your parents getting drunk while you're traveling to a tournament.
This feels like a very personal experience you witnessed.
I've seen it.
Versus like an epidemic. Because I don't think there's anything wrong with parents bonding.
Oh, trust me. There's nothing wrong with that. But the alcohol piece is concerning. And when you're bringing alcohol to a kids' youth tournament, I think you got a problem.
Which is interesting because now, you know, how young does it? Because we're also now serving booze at NCAA games, right?
Yeah.
And some people may not think it's a good thing. I think a lot of people who now can go to a game and enjoy a beer think it's great. There's obviously money to be made there. But, like, does that start encroaching on, like, WIAA and, like, high school games? They're going to, at the concession stand, they're going to start selling Miller Lights?
That's not going to happen. At least I don't think so.
We'll see.
So I didn't see this story, but apparently Mary Carrillo on NBC did this story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, turning good times into gold medals. So you were ahead.
Which, to be fair, as you said, this is for winter sports.
That's just what somebody said.
It is a country that has an emphasis on that, I would say, because I did look up. They weren't even in the top 10 for medals in summer sports.
No.
They do have some athletes who are very good. They have some. They won some medals.
They have some really seriously talented athletes.
But and also very attractive. I did notice that.
How is that related to this
story? It's not at all. there was an acknowledgement of, like, one of the guys who was racing against Jordan Stoltz. I was like, very good looking.
Different gender, but are they as hot, men as hot as the Italian women's curling team?
They're also very good looking.
Yes. Woo. My goodness.
Or Eileen Gu. Face
Gu,
card.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
She only 22.
Yeah, she's young. She's both. I forgot what she's studying at Stanford, but she's talk about a whole package.
She's really smart.
Beautiful, smart. She models. She obviously is the most decorated female free skier around. Very impressive young woman. People can be mad at her for playing for China. But
that's my only complaint about the winter. I don't watch a lot of Winter Olympics. I like the speed skating and a few other things, Italian women's curling team. But there's like too many like skiing things, like jumping and twisting. It's like they made all these snowboarding. There's like 1 billion of those events and like a couple curling things. It's like, why so much skiing? I get it's winter, but it seemed like an oversaturation of like that one thing. My personal rant. Legitimate.
Do you ski?
I used to ski a lot. Downhill skiing, northern Wisconsin. Yeah. Oh, loved it.
The hills of Wisconsin.
But again, not good for your knees, especially and having all the injuries I've had. All right, so we'll take a break here. This show's going fast today, but we have a lot more to talk about. We'll do it after this on 620 WTMJ.
The dance of sunlight on water.
Shimmering, sparkling, beautiful, hypnotic.
Houses that overlook a gorgeous body of water are the most highly desired houses in the world.
The Bellamare collection of fine jewelry features classic white diamonds, flanked and surrounded by rare and exotic blue diamonds.
Bellamare means beautiful water.
Bellamare, sunlight on water, glimmering and twinkling.
The dance is enticing.
The look is spectacular.
The impact is exciting.
Blue and white diamonds created in the heart of Mother Nature
will dance and sing on the body of a glittering, sparkling woman.
Bellamare. This blue and white beauty of sunlight on water
should be worn on the fingers,
the wrist,
the neck, and the ears
of the woman you love.
The Bellamare collection is available only at Kessler's.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert with my son David, president of Accunet. David, we're pre-approving a lot of home shoppers this time of year. Why should someone choose Accunet for their pre-approval?
Dad, getting pre-approved with just any lender is like showing up to a first date in sweatpants. Sure, you're there, but are you really ready to impress? Our rock-solid pre-approval is like showing up in your best outfit with reservations already made. We also have an excellent reputation among real estate agents, so having Accunet's name on your pre-approval can make the difference.
What else?
In addition to clearly stating we verified your credit, income, and down payment, we'll also run the specific home you're looking to buy through our underwriting software to see if we can approve your loan without an appraisal, which sellers and their agents absolutely love. Bottom line, we do everything possible to help you win.
Thanks, David. Don't settle for anything less. Get started with your rock-solid pre-approval by clicking on the blue button today at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Half of American parents cannot afford diapers. Hi, this is WTMJ's Kristin Brey. This spring, WTMJ and the Milwaukee Diaper Mission are teaming up to change that. Join me for WTMJ Cares Bowling for Babies, where we will raise funds for Milwaukee Diaper Mission. Register to bowl with us on March 7th at Village Bowl in Menominee Falls. Registration is now open. Go to WTMJCares.com to sign up. Act quickly, teams will fill up fast. It's WTMJ Cares Bowling for Babies to help the Milwaukee Diaper Mission.
11:28 on 620 WTMJ. I'm Steve. She's Kristin. Point taken is the show. And as always, thank you for listening. And I was just reading some of the texts. Somebody said they witnessed some of the behavior I was talking about. I'm not trying to demonize parents. Being a parent is hard. I was a parent. I traveled a lot. My wife, Kathy, did all the work, and God bless her because she raised two amazing daughters. So none of that's easy. But, whatever I learned from reading the list of 12 things that Norway is apparently, that's her mission statement, seems to be working. So maybe we should look at that in a much bigger context, 350 million people versus 5, and try to make some of these things work for us. And maybe some of that is just have happier, healthier kids. But here's the thing. This is like a big topic in like a minute. All we do is talk about anger and people being pissed off on social media. That's not a great example either. I just spent our friend Dr. Ryan Martin, the anger professor.
How'd that go?
It was awesome. He's going to be on the podcast in a couple weeks. It was brilliant, but we're both talking about this, him from a professional perspective and me from a broadcaster perspective, and we see every day people displaying bad behavior. And you don't think that kids don't pick this stuff up? That's my concern as an old guy now who witnesses this stuff every day and sees the full display. There's grown-ups that are my age that can't act like normal people on social media. Facebook comments, hello. Like, what would drive you to act like that? But yet, every day you see it, I see it. If that's the parents doing that, why would we expect their kids to act differently? Kids mimic their parents. So if you demonstrate a good plan, maybe your kids will also have a good plan in life.
You mean anger in sports or just anger in general?
Anger in general. Like, everything you do, your kids, I mean, this is probably too much, but they emulate parents.
Oh, I think that's true.
Yeah. So don't be I was going to say a word I couldn't say. Don't be that person. Be better.
Be happier?
Be happier.
There's so many things to be angry about, though, Steve.
Yeah. Apparently there are, because I see those comments. All right. We got a couple things we're going to do in the next one, including what the legislature was up to. Some of the other things that didn't get talked about. We talked about postpartum and
Yale's Law.
Yale's Law. There's some other things, including I call it the Fred Pren rule. We'll get to that.
Ooh.
And then a fun story, because we're all about fun, right? On this show.
Yeah, always.
Sometime. Talk about putting a good message out there, a little fun.
Well, how to maybe work on your brain.
Yes, which is always important. Neil Doyle, local, for that ABC.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Tonight, President Trump will lay out his agenda in a State of the Union address. It comes as turmoil over the economy, immigration, and brewing conflicts overseas.
President Trump speaks in the House chamber tonight, facing significant political headwinds. He's got a tough sales pitch to make to skeptical Americans. The latest ABC News Washington Post poll shows 60% of Americans disapprove of the job he's doing, the highest since he was reelected. A majority of Americans disapprove of the president's handling on key issues, including inflation, tariffs, immigration, and the economy. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
The family of Nancy Guthrie has raised the reward by $1 million for information leading to her whereabouts. Daughter and Today host Savannah Guthrie, in a new social media post, is pleading for anyone with information to come forward. Much of the Northeast continuing to dig out after a major snowstorm and blizzard. Tens of thousands of customers also remain without power. Areas of Boston received a historic 3 feet of snowfall. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:31. I'm Neil Doyle. Harley-Davidson is ending its annual Homecoming Festival in Milwaukee. Since 2023, the 4-day event has featured concerts and other activities at Veterans Park. Harley will instead return to milestone anniversary celebrations every 5 years. The change comes under new CEO Artie Starrs. Meanwhile, Harley also announcing that it's renewing its multi-year partnership with Summerfest, which will include July 4th fireworks to celebrate America's 250th anniversary. A woman is dead after a house fire in Greendale. Crews responded on Monday and say they rescued an 84-year-old woman who was trapped inside. Authorities say she later died at the hospital. 2 other people were able to escape the home. Crews say the fire started in the basement. The home did not have working smoke detectors. Green Bay Packers with a stern warning for season ticket holders. The team says those who purchase their tickets with the sole intent of reselling them should not be season ticket holders. People who repeatedly resell their season tickets also could lose their renewal privileges. Front office staff are once again conducting what they call non-renewal exercise. That is to ensure season tickets are being used as intended. More than 150,000 fans are currently on the season ticket waiting list. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. Everything's still in the green as we move through the day. The Dow is up 415 points at 49,220. The NASDAQ up 256 at 22,884. And the S&P 500 is up 55 at 6,890. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Take a look at the roads, your WTMJ time saver traffic. We're starting to see a little bit more delays, 94 east and westbound right near the stadium interchange. That, of course, part of some of our construction zone there. So kind of our typical delays, and still seeing a minor backup as well. We've been telling you about this, 4394 northbound. A little bit of road work is happening right near Holt Avenue. Part of the right lane is blocked there. So causing you to scoot over a bit, kind of having you tap the brakes until you get past Lincoln Avenue. Not major delays, but just something to be aware of. Otherwise, everything else moving along nicely. And your forecast, cloudy, breezy conditions as we move through the day. High getting up around 38 degrees. And then tonight we'll see a chance for maybe some snow. Not expecting a whole lot of accumulation, maybe less than an inch. A low down to 20 tonight. Tomorrow then mostly sunny, breezy, a high near 30. On Thursday will be mostly cloudy, high around 36. And then Friday, plenty of sunshine and a bit of a warm-up. We'll see highs Friday in the low 50s. Right now, it's 32 degrees in Madison, sitting at 31 in Kenosha, and 32 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Neil Doyle, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:34.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets, something that can positively affect your mood, getting organized and clearing out the clutter. A well-rounded closet could be the most powerful room in your home. Inspired Closets can transform your closets or laundry room, your pantry, any space in your house. What separates Inspired Closets from the others? Their 3D design software and a culture that promises to build what you want and need. Call my friends Katie and Dan today, a wife-husband team ready to help. Inspired Days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Day after day, year after year, the heavy lifting, the repetitive motion, and now your body feels it. Your back, your knees, your quality of life.
At Access Legal, we stand up for people worn down by work.
Workers' comp is our sole focus, and our team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers. From sudden accidents to pain that builds over years of hard work, we're dedicated to fighting for the benefits you're entitled to. If you've been worn down by work, contact Access Legal for a risk-free consultation.
Search AXIS Legal today.
Hey, Wisconsin anglers. This Saturday, head to MW Marine for a free fishing seminar. No reservation needed. Meet Warren Zarin from the Mercury Lund Pro Team and learn West Coast bass techniques that flat out work in Wisconsin. Pick up tips you can use right away. And while you're there, check out the boats and get ready for your best season yet. This Saturday at MW Marine. Free, fun, and you're invited.
Man, the show's going fast.
Going fast. So beyond the headline news from the very exciting, eventful week in the Wisconsin State Legislature last week, there were some other things that actually got done. What stood out to you?
Well, I mean, there's a couple of interesting ones just because, I'm a hunter. Sandhill cranes, the Assembly passed. Here's a question for you out of this, though. They passed the idea of a sandhill crane hunting season. They used to be hunted a long time ago and sort of got away from that. But interesting, it was a party line vote.
So this, explain to me, because aren't there some cranes that are protected?
Yes.
But not sandhill cranes. Or
right now they're protected.
Sandhill cranes are protected right now.
Not like federally protected. State has not allowed a hunting season.
And is it because why do people want to hunt them?
Because they used to be consumed and eaten for hundreds and hundreds of years. I have never had one. I don't know, couldn't attest to the taste of them, but apparently it's something that someone desires. Hunters want a chance. There's a lot of
But it's not like they're
cranes.
Invasive or are they causing issues?
There's a lot more. I'll tell you a quick story. So there was a sandhill crane that I saw in Franklin, Wisconsin, and it was standing next to in a neighborhood. It was standing next to like a shiny new car or a car that just got washed. And apparently it was seeing its reflection and it kept whacking its into the car. There's a lot of them around, and turkeys are flourishing. It's amazing how many, even eagles are down in this part of the state. So apparently there's the desire for it.
Okay, so now you will now have a
Senate has to take action. They have a session left, and then the governor would have to. I don't know what the governor's take on is. I'm guessing he's not a fan because there's a lot of people who don't like the idea. So that's one thing. There's another one about this. This is the one I wanted to talk about. So do you remember the Fred Prenz story? The dentist from the Wausau area. His term expired, but he just kept serving.
Just did not step down.
Even though Governor Evers had already appointed a replacement.
This is for the DNR.
Yeah. And the Supreme Court actually ruled on his side and said, well, you can Originally, yeah. And finally, the Wisconsin State Assembly passed a bill on a voice vote, which indicates that this is a popular idea, that people appointed by the governor, only those appointees, have to step down when their term expires. Thank God. I mean, that was the dumbest thing ever.
But here's the thing. Was he doing that in a vacuum? Was he just deciding, I'm not going to step down? Or do you think that he had some people backing him, encouraging him not to?
Well, Republicans didn't like Governor Evers' choice for that DNR board. So
now they're in favor of when your time is up, it's up.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure they were there, like, encouraging him to do the right thing.
Now, maybe Republicans are reading the writing on the wall, which suggests they may or may not win the governor's race, and they may or may not hold on to the Senate.
Or the opposite. If they win, that some of the people who were Governor Evers' appointees will step down if Tom Tiffany wins.
Because that's the thing. That's the rub. It's like, in what world, and I'm sorry if the Supreme Court ruled one way and then changed their mind, it makes no sense. You have a term, when it expires, you get the hell out. I used to beat them up constantly when that was going on, and I didn't like it. Get out. Your term is over. I understand the power play that's going on there. In that case, Fred Pren wanted to be the guy that could decide some really important issues on that board. I get it, but it's not how we should do business. So thankfully, the Assembly on a voice vote got that done.
Put that forward. All right, so now also everyone's favorite thing is coming to the ballot, November. Another constitutional amendment.
We just love these in Wisconsin.
Yes, the Assembly voted on party lines to send a constitutional amendment to voters that would bar governors from using a partial veto to increase any tax or fee. So obviously this is in reaction to Governor Evers' 400-year veto, but he is not the first person to use this partial veto, right? Like I think it was Tommy Thompson was one of the most egregious
at the time. Yeah.
At the time, well, I think still, because didn't they change? That was when with the Vanna White thing, where you couldn't just cross out letters.
Yeah, that was his precedent.
And so some of it was changed.
Bill McCoshen will correct us if we're wrong.
But Walker also took advantage of this rule. And it's also isn't it unique to Wisconsin? Aren't we the only state that has this random rule? But yes, so now there will be another constitutional amendment. And I feel like it's twofold, because there's those of us who are annoyed that so many things keep going, like so many constitutional amendments keep coming up on the ballot. But then there is also, regardless of depending on how you feel about this, whether we should keep it or not.
Not to go backwards, but you never know what's going to catch the attention of the text line. All these texts about sandhill cranes, they're very invasive.
They are invasive. That was my question.
They're hurting farm crops. They pull the seedlings out of the ground, apparently.
Okay. I feel like Brian Reisinger told me this once, or had an op-ed about it in Journal Sentinel about sandhill cranes in general. But I think it was funny because didn't we also put them on one of the new custom license plates? Isn't there a crane license plate that you can get from the DNR?
I will Google it during the break.
Which would feel like we're honoring them.
So consistent theme of and a lot of texts are coming in the sandhill crane thing. It's really damaging for corn.
Okay.
Because as you plant a corn kernel, they go and dig them out, so you don't get a corn stalk and you don't get your.
All right, there you go.
Your crop. So thanks to all of you. And I'll just close with this. This is according to a texter from the 262. Sandhill crane breast meat is often referred to as ribeye from the sky.
There you go.
How about that?
Maybe you'll get your opportunity now.
Maybe, and I love ribeye, so that sounds.
I wonder how hard they are to hunt. How fast are they?
Well, you shoot them.
No, well, I mean, but some animals are faster than others as far as like
faster than any animal can run or fly. So I'm sure you're good.
I'm just saying. I mean, that's a stupid question. Like, there's some things that are harder to hunt than other animals.
Yeah, bird's a bird, right?
I don't know. You're the hunter.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. Bullets go faster than any bird can fly. All right, quick break. A fun story after not that this wasn't fun.
This was fun.
Quick break.
Enjoy a free dinner this week at the historic Fox and Hounds, one of the most unique and affordable supper clubs in Wisconsin. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Fox and Hounds, one of my very favorite places. You will enjoy fabulous food and 90 years of history in the gorgeous stone and timber building. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free every single night, free. Seafood, choice steaks, short ribs, a real favorite, pasta, prime rib Wednesday and Saturday, even the steak and lobster. Your second dinner is always free. Desserts and ice cream drinks. Buy one, get one free. I love that chocolate cake with the extra ice cream. Unwind with an old-fashioned, a Manhattan, 20 bourbons to choose from, 100 wines from around the world. Wherever you live, it's worth the spectacular drive through the Kettle Moraine Forest for your free dinner. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill, escape from your kitchen with a free dinner this week. Man, that sounds great. Call and reserve, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me. Not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem. And I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who will tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-551-7672. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-551-7672. That's 800-551-7672. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests.
That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Good News Tuesday. What's your good news?
Well, I don't know if it's good news. It's interesting news that I thought, specifically, because we were talking yesterday of when you are doing yard work or work at the cemetery, you don't listen to anything.
No.
You just let the
peace and quiet,
the nature sounds entertain you and let your brain wander. And so I saw this article that actually goes kind of, we were just talking about sandhill cranes, but now bird brain benefits, how being an expert bird watcher may boost cognition. And it has to do with the fact that slowing down, right? As far as not being, doing an activity that is in nature, that you're not having the dopamine hits of technology or, music in your ears. And also learning a new skill, your brain reorganizes itself in a process called neuroplasty.
Plasticity.
Thank you. Sometimes it's too much coffee. I need to do my red leather, yellow leather.
It's supposed to help with cognitive ability.
Mouth warm-ups. Well, it reminded me of, I just learned that, so Gen Z, I can't say the term because it is sexual connotation, but Gen Z is trying a new thing to, they're forcing themselves to be bored. In the attempt, it's kind of like a dopamine
Are you talking like cleansing their cognitive palates? Like
yes.
That?
So a dopamine diet, and there's a trend on TikTok, which is kind of counterintuitive, where young people are being bored on purpose. So they're putting their phones down, they're staring into space, and they're doing nothing. I've also seen this happen on airplanes. So you don't have a book, you don't have your phone, you're not watching a movie. Like you're just sitting on the plane and letting yourself be bored and letting your brain go wherever it's going to go. And apparently there's some neuroscientists who are saying like, this is very good for you, especially in this day and age. And I will be the first one who will admit that I probably should do it.
Could you do it?
I don't know. I think it would be really hard.
So
I am so dopamine addicted. And I know specifically for people who have ADHD, we are very susceptible to that. And I have not done a lot of effort to change it. So I see this trend and it would be very hard.
So you never heard, I don't know if you ever heard me tell the story on my old show about when I used to drive back and forth between St. Paul and Milwaukee every other week. And I would test myself, no music, nothing, for the 5-hour drive. Man, but you're thinking and you're kind of clearing all the cobwebs out. And it, for me, it provides clarity. I could write things in my brain and then put them down on paper or a computer later. The longest I've done on a flight is 3.5 hours with nothing, just sitting in my seat quietly.
And you're not even having a journal
Nothing.
to write things down as it's coming to you?
I want my brain to work. And I fully admit I'm wired different than most people because I'd like the quiet. I can sit outside and just enjoy the quiet.
This would be really hard for me. It's probably the reason I should do it.
You should try it. Start with an hour.
I should do it to some extent because I'm also the person that just in the house, I like to have noise on. Like I like to have music on in the morning. I'll either ask for the news or I'll ask different channels from Alexa that we can play or having the TV on in the background. Like I seek out stimuli. And I also, it's one of those things where it's also like if I quit drinking and I stop being so addicted to my phone, how much smarter could I be? Probably a lot.
I don't know if this is related or not, and maybe this is just me being an old man. This whole white noise phenomena where people can't sleep without some little machine making noise. My daughters do this, friends do it. It's like, if I see that, I go, why would you have that where I'm trying to sleep here? I don't need anything going on. My brain will shut down and I will sleep.
But you're also a very good sleeper.
I am.
Right? Aren't you?
Sleeper.
Isn't that something that Kathy says? Is like you can just sit down and go to sleep?
I could drink a cup of coffee.
A lot of people can't do
right
that.
Before I go to bed and sleep like a baby.
So, anyways, I thought both were very interesting.
Why did you say Gen Z?
Gen Z is doing this.
Yeah. Is that you?
No, I'm a millennial.
You're a millennial.
I'm like a cusp of elder millennial.
Not a boomer.
I'm the part of millennial that definitely remembered the analog. Like I was in
you remember
middle school when we got access to AOL and AIM. And so like my childhood was still very analog.
Were there still DARE programs when you were in?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mike just bought a DARE t-shirt, ironically. And he gets a lot of comments on it when he wears it.
I was like an active student, so I used to go around talking to middle school kids from high school about the program and stuff. And
I thought it was always a cop that did it.
With a cop, yeah.
With a cop.
But they always wanted the students because
Which is funny because you've been fairly open about your drug use in high school.
Yeah. Ironic, isn't it?
It is.
All right, we got to take a quick break.
Tune in to Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Milwaukee police launched an internal investigation into the handling of information linked to allegations of sexual assault against the president of the Wisconsin Center District.
Bringing you the latest in news, sports, traffic, and weather.
Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has been arrested. The brother of King Charles, who was stripped of his royal titles due to his ties to Jeffrey Epstein, was arrested in the UK on charges of misconduct while in public office.
Every weekday from noon until 3 p.m.
Hey, talking about sleeping well, how about this? Advents changed my life. They enabled me, they give me the power to be able to sleep through the whole night, and that could be you if your nose isn't working properly, leading to poor sleep, snoring, tossing and turning, a grouchy bed partner, which you never want, trust me. Go to Advent, 30-minute visit. They'll walk through your issues. They'll ask you the questions. You can ask your questions. They'll put you at ease. They'll maybe do a simple sleep study at home in your own bed, but they'll figure out the root cause of your problem. And for me, it was sinuses and nasal passage, which is a very common problem with your breathing triangle. But after that short procedure 6 years ago, I'm back to breathing better than ever, sleeping through the whole night. That's the key. You want to have a great day? Have a great night of sleep. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your nights better, go to adventknows.com. Adventknows.com. Schedule an appointment today. Find out, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Get everything for your next project at Menards and save big money. We carry everything to help you breathe easier. Allergen air filters help prevent seasonal allergy symptoms and improve your indoor air quality by capturing microparticles while allowing maximum airflow. Save big on all allergen air filters when you shop at Menards. View the weekly flyer and all of our great deals happening this week on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
Grab the dial and crank it up, baby, because Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is spinning its Winning Hits collection. Over the next 3 months, you could win a share of over $1 million in prizes. On top of thousands in cash and reward play, you could win one of 3 new Ford vehicles in the grand finale drawings on March 27th. Just play with your rewards card to earn entries. Press play on the Winning Hits collection, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
130 years of trusted community banking. Greg Matzik here reminding you since 1896, Horicon Bank has been proud to stand beside their neighbors. And in 2026, Horicon Bank is celebrating this milestone with a full year of special events and monthly celebrations across all of their Wisconsin branches. All this week, join them at their new Berlin location on Cleveland Avenue for gift card giveaways and raffle prizes. Visit horiconbank.com or follow them on social media. Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Dexter says they do a silent retreat every year. It's great. And then I was thinking,
Could you do that? You probably could do that.
well, how much different is what I did to what Aaron Rodgers did in that dark room?
Longer?
Well, he's longer. It was like a weekend, right? So I was 6 hours.
Yeah, I think it was 3 days. But I think, wasn't it also like a darkness retreat?
Yeah,
Wasn't it like
dark and completely silent? Could you do that?
No.
But what would happen?
Let's start with
Would you
an
go
hour.
nuts? Would you go nuts?
No, I would just. It would be a lot. I mean, if you're watching the YouTube right now, you can see like how uncomfortable it makes my body to just think of, because especially to just sit there and do nothing, right? Like I feel like I could go garden with no music.
Because you have
doing
natural
something.
noises outside.
But to just sit on an airplane with no book, no journal, no music, no nothing. I mean, I probably could do it, but it feels wildly uncomfortable.
I think you should create an action plan that you at least try it for. Do a half hour, but don't just start small.
Okay.
Work your way up.
Yeah. It's just like training, right? It's like it's like any kind of training for a marathon.
But I think it might be something.
It would be good for me. I'm
maybe
not
it'll
saying
quiet your brain. Because you,
just like
you
drink,
got a
it's
brain
just like
that's always
quitting
going.
drinking. As much as you like wet January, like there is benefits to drinking less or not drinking at all.
I like super wet January, just to irritate the dry January people. Not just wet.
Who
wet.
annoys you more, the dry January people or the people who don't drink coffee?
That's a good question. The dry January people, I think, are the most irritating. Because most people drink coffee. I think the numbers would reflect that. Don't you think? It's got to be 70% at least. I'll Google it before tomorrow's show, and I'll present that information to you.
Okay.
All
right.
right.
What are all the final things we have to promote? Baby, if you want a bowl.
Yeah.
Extra, if you want to join the contest to win Brewers tickets and get our newsletter.
What's that number?
855-616-1620. Data, if you want to get a recording of last night's data center event. It's fascinating. It's long, but it's fascinating. I think that's all three.
I think we both got the point today. Well
Point
done.
Taken.
There's a lot of noise coming out of Washington these days, but one thing retirees in Wisconsin can't afford to ignore is the new Big Beautiful Bill. Sounds harmless, right? But here's the truth. The changes buried in this bill could have a serious impact on your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we've dug into the details, and we want to make sure you know what's really at stake. The Big Beautiful Bill includes sweeping updates to tax brackets, Social Security thresholds, Medicare premiums, and retirement account rules. And for many retirees, it could mean higher taxes on your savings, more limits on deductions, and unexpected changes to your income plan. Maybe you're already retired, or maybe you're just a few years away. Either way, what you don't know could cost you thousands. That's why we're offering Wisconsin residents a free educational guide to help you understand how the new bill may impact retirees and questions to discuss with your trusted financial advisor. Just text the word tax to 414-897-9522. That's tax, T-A-X, to 414-897-9522. You'll get immediate access to expert insights from the team at Drake & Associates, retirement planners who have been serving Wisconsin for over 20 years. We focus on tax-efficient retirement planning, helping you keep more of your money, avoiding surprises,